Got to give the people, what they want. All right, y'all. I'm gonna keep it easy. We got 3 problems right here. We're just doing a review, getting ready for our next and probably last assessment of this quarter. All right. So this is our assessment review. We have 3 types of problems that we're gonna do. So your homework for this one, just watch the video. Just watch the video and take the notes and submit the notes. You don't have to do anything beyond that. So we have 3 types of problems. We're going to do a type where you have to graph parabolas using factoring. So we've done that. One where you got to complete the square to find the factors of a quadratic. And finally, part C, what you've just been doing recently, is using quadratic formula to find factors of a quadratic. So let's start out with A. Sketching the graph of a parabola through factoring. Okay, so here's our equation. You should actually try to sketch the graph before me. So I'd pause and try to sketch this graph. Cool. Hopefully you did it and you came back. And as a review, we need to factor this bad boy. So I'm going to take it right here and figure out the factors. I know that this is an x squared. I know that this is a 15. I know that blank times blank needs to equal 15, and I know that blank plus blank needs to equal the middle term, which is 8. So what's that? Multiply to 15, add to 8, well, 3 times 5? 3 times 5. 3x, 5x, x, 3, 5. Boom. So I already know right now that my factors are x plus 3 times x plus 5. Cool. Now, since I'm solving for x intercepts, I need y to equal 0. So 0 equals x plus 3 times x plus 5. And so I know either x plus 3 needs to equal 0, or x plus 5 needs to equal 0, minus 3. So x equals negative 3, 5 minus 5, or, excuse me, x equals negative 5. Right? So I just found out my x intercepts. So my x intercepts are negative 3, 0, and negative 5, 0. So now I can go ahead over here and start to graph this bad boy. Yada, yakka, yigget, bagget. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's see. So I got negative 3, 0, which is here. I have negative 5, 0, which is here. Should be pretty easy to tell that for my vertex now, my y value is right in between, so that's negative 4. So x is negative 4 on my vertex. I just need to find y. So I'm going to plug negative 4 back into my original equation. So I'm going to say negative 4 plus 3 times negative 4 plus 5. And I'm going to figure out what that equals. Let me see, this is negative 1. This is 1. That shouldn't equal 0, excuse me. It should equal a thing that I don't know. And negative 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. So y equals negative 1. So my vertex is negative 4, negative 1. Boom, boom. Here is my graph. And again, I'm going to do this. I'm going to label it negative 4, negative 1 on that vertex, okay? It's super clear to see what these are. That's the process of sketching right there. 1 down, 2 to go, all right? And your assessment is literally just going to be, do these 3 things. That's the 3 things that we learned. Let's just show me how you get them done. All right, so part B. Let's now find the roots or x-intercepts of a quadratic by completing the square. So here's a quadratic. It is not factorable, so I want you to factor it by completing the square. So I'm going to say x squared minus 2x minus 91 equals 0. I'm going to plus 91 on each side. So x squared minus 2x plus something here equals 91. All right. And I'm going to take this middle term, which is -2, and I'm going to divide it by 2, which is going to give me a -1. I'm going to take that -1, because this is the process of completing the square. Take that -1 and square it, which gives me 1. Right? So this becomes a 1 on this side. And remember, if I add a 1 here, I have to add the same 1 over here. And if this is now a perfect square quadratic, so, and that's what I created on purpose, so I end up with x minus 1 squared, that's where this is, x minus 1 squared equals 92. And from here, I just go ahead and now start solving it. Square root, x minus 1 equals plus or minus the square root of 92, plus 1, so I get x equals 1 plus or minus the square root of 92. So my two answers for the roots are x is either 1 plus root 92, that's my x term, and y is 0. And the other one is x is 1 minus root 92, and y is 0, because we're talking about the roots, so when y is equal to 0, okay? So there are my two roots for that one. All right. Last one. This one should be the most familiar. Find the roots using the quadratic formula. So again, quadratic formula says y equals -b plus or minus square root of 4ac b squared. See, look at that. B squared minus 4ac, all of this over 2a. Right, and in this situation, I know a equals 6, b equals -7, c equals -38. Ooh, this is super ugly. Well, let's see how it works out. So y equals -7 plus or minus square root of -7 squared minus 4 times a times c over 2 times a. So end up with 7 plus or minus, I get 12 at the bottom. What is this? 49 minus 4 times 6 times -38. I'm gonna bust my calculator on this one. 4 times 6 times 38 minus -9, 12, which is 49 plus 9, 12, 961. So this is 7 plus or minus the root of 961 over 12. I'm hoping 961 is the square root. Oh, look at that. And it is 31. So I get 7 plus or minus 31 over 12. Okay? So I'm just going to move this up here. 7 plus or minus 31 over 12. Well, what does that mean? 7 plus 31 over 12. And whatever that equals. And then 7 minus 31 over 12. This is 38 over 12. Which is, let's see, 38 divided by 12 is 3.16. 3.16 is a root. I didn't change it into a fraction, I just kept it. So one of my roots is 3.16 repeating 0. And the other one, let's see, 7 minus 31 is 24. So I end up with a -24 over 12, which is a -2. So that other root is -2, 0. All right, y'all. Those are the 3 things that you need for the assessment. You guys have really been killing the game. Special shout out. I had a couple people jump back in here that I haven't seen. A couple of ladies. Ava So is super excited to see you. It's been a little bit, so keep it up. And yeah. Oh, you'll also notice that I changed your grades because I had the settings wrong. So almost all your grades went up. If you're not in an incomplete, your grade either stayed the same or went up. So that's a good thing too. All right, that is it. Nice work. Peace.